Hey guys, welcome to Art 17, and we are online during this whole course, entire fall semester. I sent an introduction and also some supplies email last week. So if you didn't see that, you should look that up, but I'll talk a little bit about it here as well. Um, so we're going to be communicating through email and email attachments where you take photographs of your digital photos of your work and send it to me in an email attachment. Don't try to do it on Canvas. So it's a lot easier for me and probably for you that we communicate in one particular way with email and email attachments, and then I can directly address and help you with all your work individually, one-on-one, basically, without being face to face. So that's how we're going to communicate. You need to be able to take digital photos of your work and send it to me in an email attachment, the most simple way possible. I mean, there's various ways to send attachments. Some of them I can't open, or they want me to pay to open them, or they want me to ask you permission to open them. So I think the most simple way, saving an image to your computer so you actually have it to go reference, and maybe if you needed to send it again, and then sending that to me just in a regular attachment. That's probably the best way to work. Okay, so if you notice, this is the schedule, which I'm going to provide on Canvas as well. It'll be under the syllabus. The syllabus will be there. I think it's there now, and I'm going to add this in so that you have this as well. It's good to print it out and have it available, or if you just want to go in to get it off the Canvas in this course, then that's fine. Um, of course, you're going to go into the course, right? If you haven't had online classes before, you go into Canvas, you go into the course, um, Art 17, I think it's V2499, and look for assignments. Also, you can see the syllabus there, which will also have the schedule. But under assignments, that's where I post all the assignments in video. So I initially each week make a video where I'm talking to you and I'm giving suggestions about the images in the assignments, and I'm giving examples of what that is. Then I also provide in that week, under those assignments, more videos off of YouTube that describe and give introduction or instruction or demonstration to each assignment, and plenty of opportunities to get examples and whatnot. And I'm going to show you how I get examples off of Bing or Google Images as well. And you can go in on your own with any one of these assignments and look up your own examples and getting better ideas. And then through communication, we will get all this done, and you will be able to send me your work, and then I may send it back and give you more suggestions. And examples to work from, to reference. And then you send that back to me again after you reworked it, or you did more to it, or you revised it, or whatever you want to use the word, adjusted it. Um, then I will, gradually be giving you a better grade on it every time we do that. Every time you send it back and you have worked on it more with the suggestions and examples I give you to reference. So there's always a great chance to get a great grade on everything, even though some of you are not familiar with drawing and it's your first time at this. We're going to get you to where you are addressing the outcome and the course descriptions that we're after, the goal, and you'll be able to achieve a pretty good grade if you try hard and keep working at your assignments each time I send it back to you and send it again to me. And typically, when I quit asking you to work on it, you got a good grade on it, and usually means an A. So we'll work that out as we go, and then I'm going to send updates on your grades as well, midterm, and whenever I feel you're falling way behind, then I will reach out to you and find out what's going on. So the best way to do this is to finish each week's assignments and send them to me sometime during the next week. So the following week, you need to, at one point or another, send me the assignments you worked on in the week prior. So this week we have assignment 1 and 2 and homework. That's basically how it goes, except for some. If you look down the schedule, there's 1 week that doesn't, or 2-3 weeks that do not have a homework assignment. Okay, but typically, so that's like 2 classes a week and a homework, right? And each class is roughly 3 hours long. So, with breaks and starting and cleanup and everything, setting up and tearing down and whatever, you want to give it each drawing at least 2.5 hours, something like that. And I'm going to notice when you've put in that effort, as opposed to just drawing something extremely minimal and really fast and kind of ignoring all the principles I'm laying out. Then you're going to have to work on it more, and I'll send it back and I'll say, hey, do this, do that, and for a better grade. And then you either will do that and get the better grade, or you will not, and you will get a lesser grade and maybe a lousy grade. So it does take effort, it does take time, but it's not any different than any other class where you're spending, a 3-hour class, because these are labs and lecture. Okay, so let's talk about the first assignment. As you see here, we'll go down, we'll talk about the midterm later. I outlined it in the syllabus, but and the final, we can talk all about that as the time is approaching. So the supplies, like I mentioned, you're going to need some drawing paper, which is 11 by 14. We don't want to be working real small. 11 by 14 drawing pad. I say maybe it's best to get Bristol paper, which is thicker than regular drawing paper, because you can paint on it and do ink work and various other things. As you see, in week 10, we're going to be doing ink drawings. Week 11, we're going to try a monochromatic painting and full color painting. If you don't want to get a canvas or watercolor paper, you can use the Bristol paper, and you can draw on it too. So it might be better to get the Bristol. But if you want just to get drawing paper, that's fine for all the drawing we're doing. And then when we get to the painting, you'll have to get some other surface. All right. And we'll talk about those supplies later when we're going down into week 8 and whatnot, and further on. You don't need those supplies right now, the color or the ink. What you do need is drawing paper, or like I say, the Bristol paper. Look for it. It's very nice, very thick. You can do anything on it almost. And you're going to need some drawing pencils. So sometimes they say 05 to 08 or 5B to 8B. Sometimes there's an HB. What you want to do is try them out, because they're going to render different tones. If you can try them, that's the best. But between the 5 and the 8B, you're going to get pencils that render dark tones, and that's good, because we're going to be working with a lot of contrast in here. So when you press lightly on a pencil, drawing pencil, you can get a light tone. If you press real heavy on it, you get a very dark tone. Unless these are the hard pencils of lesser numbers, then they are very light. So I say soft graphite, and that's usually what the 5B and the 8B are. 5 to 8B. They're soft graphite. It might even say that on the pencils, and that's the kind you need, because when it's soft, it's rendering a lot of graphite. When it's hard, it's rendering less graphite. We want the most graphite because we're going to be working with a lot of dark tones and the light tones, and that gives you the contrast, and that gives you the shape. So that's all I'm going to say about that right now, because the first assignment is a pre-instruction assignment, even though I just gave you some tips. I will provide how to hold pencil and how to shade with pencil, how to position your hand with pencil for assignment number 2. And we're going to be drawing the shoe from memory and shoe from life, and then a drawing of choice for homework. But the first assignment is a pre-instruction drawing, meaning that you're just going to draw something willy-nilly, like with the skills and knowledge you have at the moment. And this is a way for me to tell where you're at as a beginner, or you have some skill already, and you have some practice and experience built up. Then I want to see that. Just in doing the project, you're all going to get good grades on that first assignment. But there's 3 drawings for the pre-instruction drawings: a hand, a head, and a chair. So I'm going to show you some examples of that. There's the chair. Now there's various chairs, right? And I'm going to Bing, chair drawings. They're showing various ones. If you'll notice, some of them have color, which is not what I'm after. I'm after the graphite, which is gray. Or if you are working in charcoal, so much the better, because charcoal really renders dark tones and light tones, and you can get a lot done with charcoal fast. But you'll notice that like some chairs have no shading on them. Some do have a lot of shading. This one's got really good shading and shows a light source. That's what you want to notice about what you're drawing. Set up a chair, a real chair in front of you. Don't draw one of these. Set up a chair. Sometimes the wood chairs work really well because there's a lot to them. That's not a wood chair, but that. And what are you seeing? What are the lights and darks? What are the shadows? What is the light source? Excuse me. That's what you really want to look for. So when you're scrolling through here, notice all of that, and also notice what you're looking at and what's there to see, to draw. So, excuse me, the head shape could be from any position. You'll see a lot of templates in here helping you out, mapping things. Bing, this is Bing, so go there, go to Google. I'm not going to tell you how to do it, but if you can figure things out by looking at this, great. You can have different positions to your head. Full on, side view, profile, or 3/4 view, which is more like this. But draw what you see. If you want to take a photo of your own head or someone else's head, work from that. Okay, and maybe you want to work from one of these, that's okay. But I think the chair should be set up with a single light source in your room, living room, or wherever you are outside, and draw from a single light source. I'll provide video on that later to why we're doing that. But you have the chair, some sort of chair. You have a head, any position. But look at these. Some of these are not as good as others, right? Why is that? Figure that out. I mean, some have shading and some don't. There's your hint. Same with the hands. Some have shading, darks and lights, and some don't. Which is the most strong hand? Well, this may look more like a cartoon hand, but we're more looking into realism. What actually is what you're looking at? So you want to notice that. Is this hand compared to that hand? Which one's a stronger drawing? Which one has more shape or a 3D appearance? 3-dimension. That's what we're after, the 3-dimension. We want realism and we want 3-dimension. We don't want something that looks flat and cartoony, all right? Realism versus the cartoon. We want the realism. Okay, so here's hands. It goes on and on and on. I would want you to take a photo of your hand or just set your hand in a position on the table and you're using the other hand to draw and notice everything about it, okay? With a single light source. Don't have multiple lights on or a lamp and window light. You want a single light source. This is the best way to draw from. All right, so that's enough on that because these are pre-instructional drawings where you're going to just draw them, a hand, a head, and a chair. And that's the first assignment. Okay, and then we're going to move on to this on Wednesday or whatever it is, Thursday. I will provide another video for assignment 2 and the homework, and that's how we'll play it out every week. Most likely I'll have 2 videos, one with the first assignment and then the next with the second assignment during that week and the homework. And we'll talk about everything else after that. Right now, all you need is drawing pencils, erasers. The vinyl erasers, the white ones, work well with graphite. If you're going to use charcoal, you can get the kneaded eraser, which is one that you pull apart a little and then you ball it up again and it gets rid of all the charcoal. And it's called a kneaded eraser. That works really good with charcoal, and charcoal works really fast to get a lot of tone, light and dark, to get all your shape and your contrast going really quickly. It's a very a quick way to draw. But you can use charcoal or graphite, okay? Get the darker graphite pencils, the soft graphite, and some Bristol paper or other drawing paper, 11 by 14, okay? And draw with shading more than lines. All right, we'll talk with you next week. Or actually, later this week. Sorry, I'm already running away. Later this week, I'll have the second video with assignment number 2 and the homework. Any questions, let me know. Some of you were on wait lists. I sent you an email on how to register. I gave you permission to register, and if you're having any trouble with that, get a hold of me so that we can go back and forth to the powers that be to get that done and get you on. I think I accepted basically everybody, but after this week, that's like 32 people, so I'm cutting it off. All right. Any questions? Send me an email, and we'll go from there. Thank you.